To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Try to maybe make a third one.
This race still very undecided.
The bottom lane just doesn't have enough cars now. The rules have been reversed.
They're running out of time and they know it.
How about Noah McCall's in the L3? He did his hand in this battle. The bottom surges to the inside, now pulls even with help off the turn number 2.
900 horsepower at their feet.
Banks doesn't have a push. Hutton, can he do it off the turn 4? Right, giving him another push. They stack him to the outside. At the line, checkered flag, big surges to the bottom.
In the Pocono Mountains, there's a racetrack known as the Tricky Triangle. This 3-turn speedway, very unique. It's a challenge to driver and mechanic alike. And here today, for the Saturday Night Racing League, you're going to see these drivers try to tackle that task for 200 miles and 80 laps. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Alongside me here tonight is Connor Horn, and we have a special presentation here. We're going to bring in a few drivers here. Alex Bell starting on the pole here tonight, as we probably should cycle to the grid. We had some technical issues here on the start of this race, but Alex Bell is going to get an EOL penalty here after a restart violation last week, so he'll be going to the back of the field. Caleb Weekly will take over the pole position. Connor, real quick, while we're waiting here for the grid, what does it take to get around here at Pocono?
A lot of patience, I would say, on the tires, on the drivers, on everything. We might see shifting, we might see fuel saving. There's a lot of different things that could happen at this tricky triangle, at this 2-mile triangle at that. It's going to be very, very tough for a lot of these drivers. 2.5-mile triangle to be exact, but it's going to be a tough race. Limited tire sets tonight, so the tires are going to be at a premium more times than they have been for the rest of the season. This is a track that can get very spread out, so you're going to see these restarts be very, very hectic. We might see 5 wide, 6 wide, and we will see a lot of craziness on this initial start and maybe other restarts.
So there's Alex Bell getting his EOL. I'm not sure if they're going to extend the yellow or not. I know that half of this field did not get caught up in time, but let's take it to your grid now. So Caleb Weekly going to take over the front position as the 15 car drops to the back of the field. Let's go to Casey Lakatos, Nowakowski in the next positions. Joseph McWhorter, Bailey Turner, Joshua Banks, Angelo Horonis, and then Chuck Sweeting, Eric Hutton. I don't think they're going to get this EOL done in time, so I think, well, it looks like they're going to send it. I guess we're going to send it here. Connor?
We are going to send it. Casey Lakatos is going to be the control car. We're green in Pocono in a very unorthodox start. Lakatos gets a huge jump. We'll see if anyone got a penalty from that or not. Lakatos takes the lead.
Well, with all kinds of technical issues here today, we're getting it together. What's going on back here?
Caleb Weekly hit the wall. I saw that. And they're going crazy in the back of the pack. Alex Bell's trying to make up spots. He's 3 wide. He said over the radio he had no clue he was getting EOL, so maybe not communicated to him until the pace lap. But either way, he's going to have a long way to go to get through this 28-29 car field as his teammate, Casey Lakatos, led that first lap.
So trying to get that ticker up on your screen, and, you know, kind of embarrassing, but we've been trying to solve some minor issues here ever since the iRacing update has happened. We've been having a little bit of graphical issues, which is kind of, I guess, a given here for iRacing and the updates and all the things that have been going on with the rain added to this simulator. And here's Noah Mikowski, second in points. I know we didn't get the points up on your screen in the pre-race, but a change for the lead. Joseph McWhorter took over after that win last week, and he is joined by Noah Mikowski up into the top 3. Jeff Wright actually back in 3rd coming into today.
Yeah, Wright missed 2 races. Seemed like he had the best chance to win last week at Bristol. Ends up not winning that race. McWhorter gets it done. Takes the point lead because of it. And right now, trying to recover after missing 2 races so far this season. Proves how dominant he is. 6 of the 7 races he started, he's been in the top 5. Besides Dover, I believe. So he's got a little work to do to get that back in the points lead, but it's Jeff Wright. It's hard to count against him. Up into 9th, up from 12th where he initially started, but a little slower progress. It's hard to make fast progress at a track like this, so it's just step by step.
Alec Martinez out on the field here tonight. He has gained 8 positions already, up to 17th as he went around, I believe it was Jerry Bergeron for the 17th spot. Riding on board with him. This is the longest straightaway in North America for a speedway, and it's well over 3,500 feet. This is probably, to say the least, over a third of this racetrack is just that front stretch.
And it's very tough to get off the corner and not have a run at turn number 3. If you do not get a good exit, it's going to kill you with momentum. It's definitely a little bit of a momentum track with straightaways like this, so you've got to nail your exits out of all of the corners here, and not doing so will put you in a world of hurt down the straightaway. You'll be at the mercy of a number of drivers tonight if you can't nail that. So far, so good for everyone else. Battle for, I believe, 6th with Mahalski and Angelo Horonis. The first side-by-side battle on track. But you see that second line. It's hard to get that line rubbered in enough to work, but at the same time, that bottom line, if you get pinched down, it is hard to complete that pass.
And while you're talking about all this, I'm still trying to click and figure out what broke here on the stream deck. And, you know, cameras and angles, they're a little bit more difficult when you're trying to do it all manually. So bear with me here. We'll get it sorted. Here today, though, it's been already single file on lap number 5. These drivers picking the laps away. We got 200 miles to go here tonight with 3 green-white checkered attempts possible. No reason to push the issue right now if you're in the top 10.
Yeah, this is really going to be one of the longer races of the season time-wise. Last week at Bristol, that race lasted about 73 minutes, and that was about 200 laps around Bristol. I believe, what, 3.5 laps at Bristol is 1 lap here. So this is going to be a very big endurance run for drivers. Probably not what they're accustomed to in this series, in this Xfinity car. So these drivers, that's what we were talking about. These drivers got to be very, very patient today, as like you said, already single file. It's a track that singles out pretty quickly. First side-by-side battle back in 16th. Philip Brewer on the outside of Alec Martinez, as Martinez trying to do what he did in Dover and go for the race victory after not qualifying.
Yeah, Brewer making his debut here in the Saturday Night Racing League, and the 44 machine clawing his way, trying to get back into the top 15. Alec Martinez gets by now for the 16th spot. Casey Lakatos, Joshua Banks side by side, and a change for the lead. While we were talking about that, we started looking for side by side. They did it at the lead, and we missed it.
And McWhorter got a big run down the straightaway in the tunnel turn. Lakatos couldn't defend it, and Banks was faster as well. So we've seen this from Lakatos a little bit this season. Fast short run, can't hold it long run, so now he's back to 3rd. He might go back to 4th. Bailey Turner's up into that position after starting in the 6th position. So 50 starting to slip back. The 73 and 35 about to battle it out again, maybe.
So it would appear that I've lost a plugin. So we'll just give up on that for now, and we'll sort it out tomorrow. But here we sit on lap number 7, change for the lead, and Joshua Banks up into the 2nd spot. Now Bailey Turner starting to turn up the heat a little bit from that 4th position. He peeks to the inside, and turn 3, like you said, builds the momentum for most of this race. If you can figure out turn 3 and just kind of mitigate or stay even with the leader in 1 and 2, you're probably going to have success at Pocono.
Yeah, almost certainly. It's modeled after the Milwaukee Mile, which means flat, flat, flat. It is tough to get around a flat corner when you're carrying that much speed on entry. That's what makes it tough. Used to have a little more room on the high side to make it work. It's not the case. It's really a one-lane track. But like we were talking about, if you just pinch someone down from that high line, you can keep the momentum and keep the position and put them in a bad spot. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. Eric Hutton and Jeff Wright were going at it through turn 3. Hutton did exactly that. Pinched him to the curbing or the rumble strips that are on the bottom of turn number 3 and kept that position.
Banks running a lot lower on the entry of this 3, and you can see out to the wall a little bit heavier. Doesn't look like he really gets much momentum, but he is hanging with McWhorter. The draft's so important as well. If you don't have momentum, you will hang with the guys in front of you. It's kind of similar to Auto Club or Michigan, where it's difficult to run away with this race.
Yeah, we saw that even at Chicagoland, even though it's not really a draft track in these Xfinity cars. It's just hard to pull away. It takes long runs, and with a smaller fuel load and maybe less tires at everyone's disposal, we're probably not going to see those drivers get away unless they really save the tires well. And it's hard to make passes here as it is. So if Jeff Wright was for the fastest driver on the track, I'm not saying he is, but for example, if he was, it would be tough to get through here if how hard it is to pass. That's why he's back there in the 9th position, just kind of stuck behind the 88. It takes about a lap to muster up the run to make a pass, and that's about a minute's worth of build-up to make one pass. And someone like him, he's got to make 7 or 8 to get to the front. He gets by Hutton, but you can see the run the 88 gets back on him. Well, Wright is clear. If you'll keep that 8th position, it takes a whole lot to make it work.
Hutton gets back to the outside, doesn't allow Wright to get up and behind Hronis there, and so that's going to break up his turn 1 entry. You can see they're starting to get a little more racy back here from 6th position on back. It's getting tight. Hutton does finally let Jeff Wright up on the exit of 1. You can see probably 5 or 6 cars that have speed that are pulling away from this field. They've branched off. It's from Turner on up. It's actually 4 cars. They've pulled away a little bit here from Mahalski, rather, and Caleb Weekly. Those guys have fallen off about 2 seconds from the lead.
I think a lot of that was Caleb Weekly holding him up. Yeah, he got in the wall, has right front damage, and now he's just stacking them up about half a dozen behind him. Mahalski's the first one to get through. Now they're 3 wide for that 6th position. Almost. Jeff Wright's trying to force the issue. See if he commits to this. This is a tough move to pull off. It's hard to do that in turn 1, but they go 3 wide. Weekly's going to clear them both. Now it's side by side for the position behind. as that's what really put those guys off the top 4, and that's good for the top 4. How important, with the roll draft still plays in these Xfinity cars, they can use this to their advantage big time, but Bailey starting to get held up a little bit by the 50.
Side by side again here at the bottom. 48 car drives inside of Hronis, and we've seen him side by side several times here. Just can't complete the pass. We were going to try to talk to Hronis. We'll definitely get him in here in the booth during a caution if we have one, but all the way up the racetrack here in 3, and that's probably not going to do it. Gets a good run off the exit, but
that worked much better than I thought it was. I've never seen that line work, but it kind of did. But you see, right, using that left rear side trap to keep them there, not letting the 29 clear, and they're going to go side by side, giving each other a lot of room. Never seen anyone really. I've seen that on the old version of Pocono with the grip strip up in turn 3. I've never seen that work, but Hronis made it work there. He's going to clear Jeff Wright, and this is how hard it is to make that pass on the bottom. If you don't make that pass, you might be going backwards.
now opens up the door for Eric Hutton to get back around Jeff Wright into turn 2. This is the trickiest part of the racetrack, and I've always struggled with this part, and I've talked about it previously on other broadcasts. Turn 2 for me, I always lose time here. It's just such a difficult track, or turn in this track to master. And I don't know about you, Connor, but I always get back to the throttle too soon. I feel like I've got the turn off, and then I end up in the wall.
It's pretty easy to do because there's not much off-throttle time, even in these cars, even in a Cup car, just not much off-throttle time. So you really have to be precise with if you're using a little brake, how much throttle you want to use through there. Once you get back on the throttle, how late do you want to get under braking? And you have to be on the bottom. You almost need to be using some of the apron through that tunnel turn to get through there with a lot of speed. It is so precise, and you got to be very, very careful. You miss the line by a few inches, you're going to slam that wall on exit. We haven't seen anyone really slam it yet. We've seen some taps, but definitely the toughest part of the track. Definitely side by side, too.
Side by side through here. Weekly with that damage starting to get attacked again as they exit turn 2, now into 3. Hronis probably going to complete this one. He's been fast here late in this, or mid in this run. Now peaking 3 wide off of turn 3. Jeff Wright to the bottom, and they're going to stay that way down the front stretch.
And this is a killer for all these guys because you could see the gap after Mahosky got by Caleb Weekly. He's already almost 2 seconds ahead of that 13 and pulling away from what is a 3-wide battle now, again in the turn number 1. And they're going to really be struggling for grip. Jeff Wright might get 2 for 1. Yes, I think he's clear of Weekly, but he hasn't come up. So definitely got Hronis, though, and he should have a good chance of making this pass into the tunnel turn.
It's the moment where Jeff Wright sends it to the bottom, and regardless if it's going to stick or not, he's just got to get ahead. There he goes now, and he will clear the 13 car. Hronis still trying to get by. Almost contact.
Gosh. And you can see how much that's why you can't go too wide through there. You can't afford to. It's almost like the exit of turn 2 at Darlington. You lose so much time going side by side through a corner exit that tight, where to the point where it's not even worth going too wide through there. You might as well just get single filed back out, but no driver wants to do that because you don't want to get back in line and you don't want to lose track position. So Caleb's going to fight that off, and it has killed Hronis. And look at the gap the 48 already has just from that one corner.
Weekly trying to hold on to it with that damage really hurting him down the straightaways. Had some draft help from Hutton that allows him to get a good exit. Hronis not able to complete the pass. The top 6 are starting to pull away now as Jeff Wright has about half a second over Caleb Weekly.
Meanwhile, McWhorter's pulled away from what was second place Joshua Banks. That's now Bailey Turner in second. He just made the pass on Banks, so Banks back to third. Mahosky's gotten 4th away from Case Lakatos at the same time. That's all behind this crazy battle. It's all Caleb Weekly at the front of it. He's the cork in the bottle. He hasn't gotten popped quite yet, but I think Angelo Hronis is about to get popped. Now he's again 3 wide in the middle with the 71 of Ryan Carwild, who is outside. I think Hronis was faster than everyone around him, even the 48, but he has just not been able to pass that 13 car, excuse me.
I gotta love it here. I'm here. I'm doing things in the background. I promise that I'm still paying attention to what's going on. I swear.
Now Eric Hutton's by, so that's for the 7th position. Weekly is just hanging on by a thread. 85% fuel tank, probably not going to make it to lap 40. So if you pit if you're setting up for a 2-stop, This driver's probably 10, 15 laps away. We'll just have to see what shakes out strategy-wise. Once again, we only have 4 additional tire sets this week instead of 5. It still should be plenty for everyone, but you don't want to pit too early. But track position is important here. Just look at this line behind Weekly. He's got, it almost seems like half the field behind him at this
Congo
point.
line.
It's somewhere in the back of that is Alex Martinez. He's all the way up to 11th. He's actually right behind this. That's how far he's gotten up there. But he's still 5 seconds off the race lead. Look at him charge around the outside of that 71 of Carlisle. He's even gotten by Horonis, who just has not been able to make the moves correctly. But that 51, the IK9 Toyota Supra is moving up.
Side by side here, 71. Excuse me, 71, 29. Yeah, even my voice is giving up here.
So there's a 71 car in the turnover. That was good. I haven't heard that voice from you before.
Yeah, it's kind of like 3 packs of Marlboros a week.
Yeah, I hope not. That 50, I tell you what, that 51's fast. He's probably gonna be the next one to get by Weekly here.
A little blink there.
Chad Klinger. I think he hit the wall entering. Chad Klinger's trying to side draft the back, but I think that 51's going to be too strong. I can hear someone shifting. It might even be the 51. Thought that might play a factor as when has tapped the wall. That's not going to hurt him too much, but talked about shifting might be something some drivers do, but I'm not hearing too many do so. Oh, Banks just hit the wall up in 3rd, and Mahalski's going to get 3rd. I don't know Mahalski. He's having a great run.
All right. We're going to try this again.
Order's still pulling away. Well, I would say that.
Oh, contact back there. That was Chad Klinger. It looks like he bounced off the side of either that was Weekly or Sweeting there.
That was Caleb Weekly. I think that was I don't know if that was a mistake or a frustration slam from the 09 because Weekly was pretty close to that outside wall. Now Chuck Sweeting's going to get through. So now that's going to be for the 9th position as Chad Klinger is going to pull way down to the inside, maybe letting everyone by. I don't know how much damage he has on the 09, but they hit pretty hard.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Push buttons, nothing happened.
Someone really slammed the wall back there. I think it was Edwin Mendez. That's live, but and even behind him, Alex Bell is only up to the 19th position, so he hasn't climbed through the field quite as well. We're having pit stops. We'll see if this is scheduled or Chad Klinger calling it a night. That's lap 19. That's pretty early. This is almost a 3-stop strategy you would be playing if you're in a pit now.
Yeah, 85% fuel here today, and sitting right here, it's somewhere around, what, 60 miles? I figured you'd go a little bit further than that. He's going to stop 4 tires here, and just McWhorter ahead of Bailey Turner by about half a second, a full second over Noah Mahalski. And, you know, I've really been impressed with this 03 here. He got up second in points. He's been solid all season long. He hasn't missed a single race yet. Just phenomenal here. As we approach the chase, I think he's sitting in a good place to be. He needs to get a win, though. If you're the 03 right now, you need a win to help lock yourself in there and get those bonus points for when everything resets.
You would certainly hope so, as it's like Hutton's going to get by Jeff Wright for what's now the 5th position. And Mahalski, he's had good runs as a top 5 at Daytona. He has 4 more top 10s to boot along with that top 5, but he's not ran consistently in the top 5, top 3 during a race like he is currently. And he's got a good gap. He's gaining on Joshua Banks for the most part. The 35's worn his tires out. 03's been patient. It's paid off running top 3, as those top 2 a little bit quicker than him currently, but those 2 are pretty fast, and those 2 are probably coming close to a fight for the lead soon, because Bailey Turner is at least even with the 73 McWhorter, but a touch faster in some parts of the track, as you can almost hear McWhorter shifting it down into 3rd gear in turn number 3. we still got a conga line behind Caleb Weekly at the same time.
71 and Ryan Carwile hasn't been able to clear any of this. He's been back here fighting. Now AJ Servato on the back bumper. This is outside the top 10. Weekly, remember, had came down. I think he got a little bit more damage where the 09 and Klinger maybe decided to bring it down pit road because of that. I don't know. That might be the only factor that happened. We'll have to wait and see, though, how that shapes up for the 09, because he's going to be on probably a 12, 13 lap different strategy than the rest of this field.
Yeah, it's going to be a completely different strategy. And in fairness, it is a big track, so there's no risk of getting trapped a lap down. He's still still got plenty of track to the leaders, and he's obviously going to gain on them. And the tire wear is severe, so maybe that's something he thought about. There is big tire wear. Joseph McWhorter, race leader, he ran a 54.3 on lap number 2. He's 2 seconds off of that in 20 laps. So there's some serious tire wear. Maybe Chad Klinger not being able to pass and seeing an avenue to get track position might have seen that and tried to take advantage, because now he's on fresh tires and he's got clean air all to himself.
So sitting in third, Noah Halski. Joshua Banks back here in fourth. He's got Eric Hutton, and they'll tag with the wall there on the exit of 2. That's going to give up the spot.
Yeah, Banks is struggling. He might come in earlier as well. The Shoemaker brothers came down as well. Banks have been flirting with the wall, tapped it a few times, but that was a hit. He hit the right front pretty darn hard. So he's going to stay out another lap. All the other leaders stay out. Bailey Turner's closer and closer to the 73rd McWhorter, and at the same time, more and more drivers are getting by that 13 of Caleb Weekly. Lucas Lyons trying to be just the next driver to do so. Now it's gotten to the point where we are very, very strung out. The top, let's see, trying to look, the top 22, top 22, for example, they're about separated by 13 seconds. There's really not much side-by-side action. There's one pass. Alex Bell still trying to make progress up for the EOL. He's up to 16th after passing Bobby Patrica. Jeff Wright is going to come down. So this is one of those early stops. He's from 6th. This is lap 24, really shaking it on entry. This is the first of what I would say are scheduled stops.
Hey, what do you know? I'm fixing things.
Now Martinez is passing people. What else is new? It's about to pass Joshua Banks. And this would be for effectively 5th on track. And that 51's going to be hard to beat, I would say. Once he gets to the lead, might just be like Dover, set sail, and goodbye.
Sitting here looking at about 5 cars and brought it down. Chad Klinger, Jeff Wright, Bryce Shoemaker, Keith Shoemaker, and Mark McFadden have all come down. Looks like Bobby Patrica getting passed by Reggie Ortega here.
Here comes a lot more drivers. Yeah, a lot more drivers. Banks is in, Horonis, Carwile. Definitely start of scheduled stops. As Reggie Ortega, Bobby Patrica, they almost door racing for position. Austin Belkey's also going to come down.
So scheduled stops here on lap 26. So only about 6 off there for Klinger. I thought it was going to be a little bit more than that, but he'll probably cycle through. He's lost the draft, though. Unfortunate for him. That's part of the problem with pitting that early, is there's nobody out here to draft around this racetrack with. Now you see McWhorter and Turner starting to go at it.
Oh, and Bailey's going to undercut him right there. That's pretty smart to do, because even one lap here, if as close as he was McWhorter, I got to imagine he's going to get that jump and leapfrog for position. So Bailey gets to pit road first, and a little surprising, not many others really followed him that time. Bobby Patrica's going to pit from 14th, but other than that, everyone else goes another lap.
Still a lot of racing left to be done. 24 car in. And now, if we look at it, this is definitely going to be a 2-stop at the minimum. This will be the first of 2. I'd have to say right now, if you're the 09, it might be one of those where you make up this time with a little bit fresher tires on some of these drivers in front of you. And by the time they come down pit road, you might be up in the top 5.
That's certainly what he's hoping for. Track position's pretty important, so he's going to be hoping. He's either going to 3-stop it, or he's just going to hope for yellow at a good time. Mahalski's going to pit from 3rd. Race leader stays out. Chuck Sweeting is in. Looks like AJ Stravato from 7th also going to come in. Here comes Philip Brewer, definitely starting the round of stops. We'll see how much further a lot of these drivers are going to push this fuel. You're also pushing the tires, like we talked about, a lot of tire wear, so pushing that as well. I would think if you're McWhorter, you probably want to pit before you get into any sort of lap traffic.
Well, I went back to make sure that at the very least we are live. That was my other main concern, I guess. Going back and make sure that's happening at the very least, because we've had all these other technical issues. Why not that, you know?
Yeah, you gotta at least make sure of that, or else we're gapping for no reason, as majority of the leaders stay out another lap. So Reggie Ortega, who's now 8th, he will pit. He has not made the progress he wanted up through the field. Daytona winner, Max Cost, will also come down in his Zero Fanatec Camaro. Also Kyle Peacock in the HooptiesGarage.com Camaro. So still waiting on a lot of the leaders, especially the race leader, McWhorter. Everyone besides about the top 10, 11, 12 or so have yet to make a stop.
It's Kyle Peacock in there as well in the 83. Andrew Larner is going to bring it down in the 64. And they cycle through. McWhorter's still out there. Let's see if he comes in this time by. He does.
Yeah, I'm shocked he even stayed that long. Really going to give up a lot of track position. Hutton and Martinez will follow him in. Don't speed. Very squirrely. Very early pit entry as well. This might bring everyone else. Don't know how much longer on fuel you can go. Lakatos, Bell. Here comes Caleb Weekly. I'm shocked he went as long as he did. How much he was struggling. 38 of Stephen Davis making his debut in the series, I believe. Jerry Bergeron, Edwin Mendez. Did have some others stay out, I believe, but not too many.
Of Lakatos, who led some laps here. Bell, who had the EOL penalty, now down and away for the 73. Looks like the 51 back there in the backdrop of Alec Martinez is going to be close to the top 5 now as it all shakes out.
You can see the difference hitting earlier makes. McWhorter's going to come out behind Ryan Carwile, and Carwile's still behind a number of cars as well. Bailey Turner is going to be about the length of that straightaway off of turn number 1. He's about to be at least half the length of that ahead of Joseph McWhorter, and he was right on his bumper when he came down and undercut the 73. It just shows how big of a difference pitting makes. Obviously, it makes a difference. Daniel Cunningham pits, I believe. Lucas Lyons did take over the lead, but he pits the lap after, so looking at only about 30 laps he could go on the tank, so definitely won't be seeing a 1-stop.
Jack Klinger about 2.5 seconds roughly ahead of Bailey Turner. He'll cycle through for the lead here on lap 31. So now completed, the whole field has hit pit road. We're going to try to push a button and see if something happens. Look at that, it does. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League live on V-Speed. Quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back right after this.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Back here live from Pocono Raceway. Saturday Night Racing League has had a little change of hands in the lead. Bailey Turner takes it over for the first time today. Take a quick look back at that. We saw Jack Klinger had taken over the lead after hitting pit road a little bit early. Bailey Turner is going to find the momentum here going into turn one and take it over from him, but I mean, good call on the strategy. It's worked out so far if you're the 09. But Connor, you got to think, does it work out at the end of this race?
I think we'll have to see. I don't know if he's going to try to three-stop or just pit a little earlier, maybe pit lap 50 and try to make it to the end from there. We'll just have to see. But definitely thought he was in a position as Andrew Larner goes a lap down. Felt like he was in a position where he needed to get track position somehow, and saw he wasn't making passes, so it might have been a split-second decision for the Sherwin-Williams Camaro. But either way, looking good right now. Still third, but definitely slower than everyone else around him on older tires. I was going to say we had everyone still on the lead lap, but Andrew Larner changed that getting lapped. But we went about 30 laps without anyone getting lapped, which might be a non-super speedway record. As still 29 of the 30 cars on the lead lap, and obviously all 30 cars who started this race still running.
That just goes to show the scale of this racetrack. It took them 35 laps to find the tail end of this field. With 30 cars out there, you'd done that at Bristol, it would have been about 15 laps into the race, and they would have had half the field gone.
They might as well have had half the field gone. That's kind of how Bristol goes, but we're still going here as what getting the green flag pit stops really did is spread out the rest of the field. No one's really trapped behind anyone else. As we see some drivers passing lap traffic. Looking at Joe McWhorter, he's up to 5th. He's on some of the freshest tires, but was leading before the cycle started. Stayed out too long. Now he's back to 5th, trying to recover. But like we said, really strung out field at this point. There's a battle for about 15th. Bryce Shoemaker pit a little earlier than Reggie Ortega, so he's about to get past here. Alex Bell also pit later than a lot of other drivers. He's about to follow through.
See Brewer here in the mix as well. Shoemaker on the inside. Actually has the 15 of Bell to the inside. Just behind Reggie Ortega. I mean, we got to hunt pretty hard here because a lot of these guys are spread out at least 2 tenths or more.
Yeah, a lot of spread outness. That's what we're talking about. 30 cars are separated by pretty much the track width. But you do have a decent section of those guys around the top 15, top 20 that are still pretty close to each other. Trying to monitor that battle for the lead. It's not too close right now, but McWhorter has passed Angelo Veronis into turn number 1. That's for 4th. Once again, he's on fresher tires. And he's about to line up the pass track Klinger for 3rd, and then he'll have a lot of clean air to chase down the 24 and 48.
tall order, though. Almost 4 seconds between him and Jeff Wright. 73 is going to have to get clear of Klinger as soon as he can. Coming into today, he wants to keep up with Jeff Wright here, I'm sure, to try to keep that points lead as large as he can, because we're coming down to crunch time. To the outside here for the third position. And those older tires on Klinger's machine. He's just trying to hold on to the top 5 at this point. He's got a lot of hungry cars behind him, though.
A lot of hungry cars as they go 3 wide in the back past the lap traffic. But yeah, he's got a while to go as Klinger now lets Hronis by. It's going to be tough to make up this ground, but clean air is the best thing you can get to make this work. And that was a nifty pass around the outside. I know the 09's tires aren't good, but it takes a lot to have the courage to stick it up to the high side and a corner that flat at a speed as high as that. So that was a tough one to make. As Ryan Carwell, Chuck Sweeting, they're going to battle for 7th. Looks like Carwell got around the outside there of the 75 entering turn number 1. But Sweeting looked like he was actually looking to the inside for position, but he's not going to get it. And look at the run Alec Martinez has. He's about 10 miles an hour faster than the 75, and he's also on some of the freshest tires in the field.
I just want to know what happened to Martinez, because he pitted with McWhorter. As he's saving tires right now, he has not kept pace with the 73. We saw that he was fast at the end of the run. So is he saving right now, or is the car just a little bit off overall?
Well, he was a ways behind the 73. He hadn't made up that much. He made up a lot of positions, but he was still a ways behind the leaders. So I think he is saving a little bit of tire here. This is exactly what he did to Dover. He would save the tires and then just rock it back through the field. So I think he's just conserving a little bit. He should be all good, but you don't want to stay behind these guys too long, because if they get side by side in the tunnel turn like they are right now, it's going to lose you a lot of time.
This is less than optimal, as Steve would say.
Let's look at this run. He's just going to cut it down, and look at the run he has on Carwell. They almost made contact. Much faster than these two, as Carwell will not be able to really fight it. He's going to get Chuck Sweeting at the same time, or at least try to, in the way bottom line. He might even use some of those rumble strips in turn 3 to help your car grip up. But you get stuck on the bottom, lose that run.
Contact.
Oh, even get a bit of a door slam from the 75 as well. I don't think that was intentional, but a little bit of contact. They hit again. They might have hit again. It's close. Oh, right now this is going to kill him too, because now Chad Klinger is going to take up his line, really set him back. He's going to try to go 3 wide middle, doesn't get that.
All the cars that he just passed got back around him.
And yeah, he has to repass Carwell now after he should get by the 09 here eventually.
There he will get by the 09. Now going to set his sights back on the 71. So Joseph McWhorter is slowly catching up to Jeff Wright right now. He's got it down to 3 seconds. Got about 5 lap pressure tires this stint. And contact back there, Sweeting around.
Oh, Chuck Sweeting in the wall. I think Joshua Banks missed a shift, and there's no caution for that. Banks missed a shift out of turn number 3, and that's going to end his race, and it ends Chuck Sweeting's race at the same time, and the caution's out for Sweeting.
He cannot limp that car back to pit road, so.
That's the risk of shifting H pattern at Pocono. It is so much easier to miss that shift. And that's exactly what Banks just did. That changed the race a decent amount. Gives everyone a reset. And Chuck Sweeting doesn't get any better for him. Just no luck, per usual, in this series.
He blew the engine as well. Banks popped it.
Oh yeah, that was lucky Moore didn't get involved in that, actually, because doing that in the middle of the straightaway off the corner, no one's expecting it. So yeah, immediately went 3rd to 2nd. That's gonna kill the engine. Dale Jr. did it like twice in 2017, and Chuck Sweeting just had nowhere to go.
Now, all the strategies, if you're Chad Klinger, you're kind of even back out. You got your track position. You got up here into the top 10. I know he kind of ended up back where he kind of started this race, but you're looking at Bailey Turner, Jeff Wright, Joseph McWhorter, these guys that had pretty sizable gap to the rest of this field, now going to be reset. What's the call here? You've got limited tire sets, only 4 available. Do you come down and take one?
Yeah, I think you have to here. We're past halfway, so you should take your set here. I don't see a reason not to. But this is really going to make it a little bit awkward on fuel. But we only saw drivers go about 30 to 31 laps. No one went any further than that on the last set of pit stops. So we're going to be, if they can only go that far, we're going to be 5, 6, 7 laps short. So that's really going to kind of test these drivers. You might see some drivers try to save and not pit again, but we could also see some drivers, if we get a shorter run to the end like this and have to stop, could see some strategy in the 2-tire region as Turner and Wright, I thought they made contact that during the pits, but they get into their stalls all well and good. Oh, and Bailey Turner, I think, overshot his stall by a small margin. So
yeah, that looks like the jack went up a little late there for the 24. He's going to lose quite a few spots here. Jeff Wright might take the lead over on this exit.
And yeah, I saw someone lose a title in a league I run on Thursday, so that's going to give, who's that going to give the lead? It's going to give Jeff Wright the race lead away, and that's a huge spot to get the race lead, and McWhorter just could not get him on pit exit. So it's going to be Wright, McWhorter, Horonis, Martinez, and Carwile. Bailey Turner all the way back to 8th.
Well, we got the opportunity here. We didn't get to do it during pre-race, so I think it's a perfect time to find the 29, Angelo Horonis, out there on the racetrack. If I can find him. There he is. Angelo Horonis, Bradley Cooper, Connor Horn, V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you guys.
And Angelo, we saw that struggle to get around some cars, and this is your hometown. This is your favorite track. How frustrating is it out here tonight just to get around one car?
It definitely is a struggle early in the run. I forget who it was, but we were just side by side, and I just could not get a good run off the bottom. And high side, it definitely helped out, and I was just struggling to get around, and that ended up wearing my right sides out a lot more than I wanted to. So yeah, I think I started 4th, and I went all the way back to 10th or 11th. So luckily, this pit strategy, it worked out for me, and we'll just see what we can do for the rest of the race.
Right now, sitting in the 3rd position on this restart, you have Alec Martinez to your outside and 2 of the cars that have been up front pretty much all race. You got anything for him here as we get this restart going?
We'll see. A bunch of these guys up here, they're really quick, and it's definitely going to be a challenge to keep up. But I don't know. I feel like I learned a few things along the way this race, so we'll see what we can do.
I appreciate your time, Angelo. Go get him, man. Good luck.
Good. Thank you.
Motorsports driver Angelo Horonis in the number 29. Connor, I tell you, man, it's been tricky, to say the least. I mean, that's what this track is known for, and some of these guys have a better 1 or a better 2, but ultimately it means nothing if you can't stay in that draft and you pull a strategy and it backfires, cautions come out. It's just a complete reset of what was going on this race tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to switch things up for sure. We've seen how important track position is. You get stuck behind someone, you lose so much time. Caleb Weekly was kind of the guy holding a lot of drivers up. He's not out of the equation. He's still in the race, but back in 17th, so he won't be holding up a lot of the front runners that did get stuck behind him earlier in this race. It's a whole new race. Jeff Wright's now going to be in control. Jeff McWhorter has been pretty much, it feels like 2nd or 3rd this entire race, just has not been able to get this race lead away. And we're going to restart with about 36 laps to go, and we're just outside of what the fuel window is, so we might see things get very, very interesting if this goes green.
So getting set back to go for the 2nd time today. Jeff Wright gonna hit the loud pedal, lead him into turn 1. Caution car is off. Green flag is out. We're back live at Pocono. Let's take this opportunity to bring the noise brought to you by Harpoon Design. I'll tell you what, Alec Martinez and Joseph McWhorter were racing hard there on that restart. There was some blocking going on down out of the exit of turn 1. I thought for sure they were going to make contact.
They almost did 3 wide through the middle. That's what Martinez did, and it somehow worked. Really, because Aronis had to back off, but they lost some time to Jeff Wright doing so. And they're still kind of battling a little bit here. Martinez is able to stay ahead. Aronis giving a 73 a shove. I don't think McWhorter's going to go for this position for the pass until he gets a much better run. That's if he gets a better run. He's single file out in a hurry, and we're single file through about the top 9. AJ Stravatos he just cannot get clear the 50 of Lakatos. That's for about the 11th position, as that 48 continues to lead.
0-3 of Halski goes to the inside of Reggie Ortega. This is just outside the top 10. Doesn't get a very good run off of turn 3. More side by side behind him. That looks like Lucas Lyons. He's going to fall in line there. He's trying to get a good look. Really, all these cars look about the same as they come down the front stretch, and it's a lot of white front ends. And McWhorter into the inside of the 51.
And that's going to hurt him bad. Hronis can get to the outside of him, make this pass. So McWhorter wanted the spot from the 51. He's going to end up losing one, maybe two. We'll see if Chad Klinger can take advantage, although Hronis did not get fully clear. So look how much time those two are going to lose. The 51's well clear for second now. Hronis is clear for third. They might have made more contact. Klinger might have tapped the wall.
Klinger sticks the nose in there on the exit of turn 2. He's going to take it wide into 3. Probably get a good run off, but will he be able to go anywhere with it here? Klinger to the outside now.
Make contact.
Across the nose. 73 McWhorter almost takes out the 09.
Yeah, that was a slide job at Pocono, no doubt. He did not want the 09 to get to his outside, and they made contact. Somehow did not get damage out of it. Bailey Turner is just trying to get through this and get control of the race back, but that missing a stall, that's how badly it hurts you at Pocono. He's only back up to 6th, and the 48 still with a healthy lead. Now Hronis is behind the 51 for second. It's still single file, but a lot of battling going on at the same time while they're single file.
So close call there. I know if I was Chad right now, I'd be trying to hold back some temper because the 73 just kind of came up on him. He wasn't there, but he did have the run, and it was all kind of meeting in the middle of that exit.
Oh yeah, no doubt. McWhorter probably thought he had the lane, but Klinger, I think, in my opinion, definitely had the right to get the line there. But 73 knows how important keeping that spot was. It's worked out for now. McWhorter keeps 4th and tries to get maybe back up to the 51. But that Jeff Wright, that 48 machine, starting to pull away faster last time by over a 1/10 of a second than Alec Martinez. As side by side for about the 8th position, Eric Hutton and Alex Bell battling. And Alex Bell's still trying to battle back from that EOL. He is at least finally in the top 10.
We're riding on board there with a 13. He's since settled down at about the 15th spot. This top 10 minus Jeff Wright is still pretty close together. You can see Angelo Horonis, Chad Klinger, these guys still right on top of each other. I don't like what's going to happen here. I'm seeing it brew lap after lap. The 09's getting really impatient with the way McWhorter's driving them.
Yeah, but he's also not able to get back up to the front as we see two drivers making pit stops. Lucas Lyons pits from 16th, Daniel Cunningham from 21st. So we think fuel might be an issue, but I'd be shocked. It's a little interesting to pit this early for fuel, but keep note of that as everyone else still on the track with just under 30 laps to go.
I think if you, maybe with draft, maybe a little clutching, you could probably make it from here, but I don't know that the advantages of doing this are that great. We saw it with Klinger earlier, short pitting, and I mean, it was within, what, 2 or 3 laps this field had caught up to him and passed him. He fell all the way back to 8th for the restart.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. 6-7 laps, it's hard to save that much at a track like this. And that, again, if that's the range, that's as far as we saw drivers go on the first run of the race. So we'll see how much longer these drivers can go. No signs of any fuel saving quite yet from anyone. Horonis and Martinez, they seem like they're just working together. I don't think Angel Horonis has any intention of trying to pass the 51.
I mean, they're working together, but they're not really making up any ground. We're talking about over half a second.
Looks like McWhorter is going to give him the spot there. I think sense some urgency from Klinger, is deciding to just kind of let him go. Klinger with a little bit of a swerve there saying about time. I think that's what the message was there.
I mean, frustrations here. There might be 2 or 3 spots at the racetrack where Klinger felt like he was absolutely faster than the 73. But there, he used all of the racetrack to maintain this position, and McWhorter's going to get back to the inside.
It kind of I don't know what's going on. He let him by, then gets back to his inside. Now he's going to get back in line. So I think he was just surprised by the poor run the 09 got out of the corner. And now he's got Bailey Turner back on his bumper as he gets another run back on the 09.
Into the wall.
Comes the wall, and now he's probably kicking himself for letting the 09 by, because once he let him by, the 09 just started making mistakes. And those top two, their second and third, are starting to get away. All a chess game at a track like this.
Yep. See Klinger a little bit higher on the apex than the 73, and the drive off just seems like McWhorter a little bit stronger in 3, but you know, using too much of the racetrack, you got to be careful. We've seen it twice now with Klinger taps the outside wall.
Driving in a lot harder into the corners, and I think maybe that's maybe part of the reason it's happening. He's trying too hard on entry, kind of giving up on exit, and he's got these guys a little stacked up from 3rd place all the way back to 9th place Alex Bell. AJ Stravato is a little bit further back from the 15 because of that pass on the 50. But these guys, kind of like what we saw with Caleb Weekly earlier, a little bit stacked up for that position as 2nd and 3rd. Martinez Horonis still kind of bumper to bumper. They have gained on Jeff Wright that last lap, but also so did Chad Klinger.
I saw smoke there again. He was riding on board with Hutton. He had tagged the wall, and then looked like somebody ahead of him hit it as well. These guys flirting with it every entry, every exit. It seems like they're right on the edge. Klinger has the 73 McWhorter back to the inside as they go into turn 1. He's going to dive it down. Now the 73 is going to get racy again. He knows Bailey Turner a little bit faster. He's going to have to get away from these cars if he wants any shot at that top 4.
And we'll see if he doesn't get back in line. Bailey's going to get those outside. Couldn't do it, but now Bailey's going to go to the inside, and these guys are just costing each other time battling like this. You can see just from that little side-by-side how much further away he got. Now McWhorter lets Bailey go. He lifted too much, almost let Ryan Carwell get to his inside. 09 bounces off the wall again. Not a good run for the 73 on this set of tires, clearly. Just no pace, not able to pass, and then just has to give these spots back up. Hutton and Alex Bell are now side by side for the 8th position. Now Bailey's going to have a crack at Chad Klinger. Bailey got it pretty easily, but Chad Klinger actually tried pulling the crossover. Looked to be inside of the 24 of Bailey Turner, but then gets right back in line. Just going to shove him down a straightaway, well clear of Joseph McWhorter at this time, as we're pretty much at, I think, 24.5 laps to go. Still a question mark is fuel, because no one else has pit besides the first two about 5 laps ago.
51-29, shave about a tenth, and then they give up a tenth. It's been back and forth here. Jeff Wright just kind of saving his stuff.
Oh, here comes McWhorter. 73 is going to pit. This is kind of the first domino.
It's going to force the hand of this top 5 for sure.
Well, this is a little odd timing. I would think we went green. Trying to look, we went green with about 35 laps to go, so you probably go maybe 5 laps longer and split it in half, but maybe just trying to get the jump on everyone. So we might see some drivers look at that, but I don't know how many will respond.
If you stay out 5 laps, though, Connor, and McWhorter's making up, you know, half a second or so on you.
How about 2 tires?
Yeah. I mean, did he do that purposely?
I think so. Work out. I mean, you only need a splash to make it to the end, so I've seen this work before in other series. People just thinking, what the heck, I'll save some seconds taking the 2 tires. I don't hate that move with how little fuel you need to take. So that other drivers might see that and try the same thing. Here comes Chad Klinger. He's going to respond from 5th. Now he comes down. Roger Pierce said in chat, yes, he gave him 2 on purpose. So Roger Pierce, well known, he knows what he's doing, so that's good to hear.
Interested to see what the 09 will do.
Yeah, see if he responds. Maybe he responds with 4. I just don't know. I don't think either of their tires are looking very well. And Chad Klinger's were. He had some bouts with the wall. He takes 2. It looks like he's going to go for 4. And we'll see how much ground the 73 gains on him by doing that. So he's coming at the line now. Chad Klinger is still on pit road, so you can see how big of a difference taking only 2 tires makes. But now it's up to Chad Klinger to run him down. It's like no other takers this time around to pit, so we're going to see those 2 try to make up time as quickly as possible while they have that advantage.
I like what McWhorter did. I think that's going to probably win him this race.
We'll see. See, it depends on what everyone else does, but he got the jump big time on the 09 as Martinez tapped the wall out of turn number 1, but he's still not gained. He gained a little bit on Jeff Wright last time by, but that gap has been a healthy 6-7 tenths of a second for a while now.
Yeah, Jeff's just maintaining this gap here. He's done a phenomenal job after he got the lead, got the clean air. He stayed ahead of Alec Martinez now. They're about 20 laps, I'd say. 16 to be exact. Remember, Martinez, he had started back, what, 7th, 8th position on this restart?
Yeah, he was not at the... Well, he was maybe near the front. He restarted in 4th, so... He had restarted up here, made that through-ride move in the middle, now got up the 2nd, and it's running well, but he started all the way back in 25th and made it into the top 10 rather quickly, but still yet to chase down the 48 after Jeff Wright, like you said, got clean air on the nose, and sometimes that makes all the difference at this racetrack, Pocono. It's so important to get clean air. That's another reason why McWhorter and Klinger figured they should pit now. You get clean air on the nose instead of being stuck in traffic. It could really change your race. So I was trying to look at the times between those 2 last time by. McWhorter just ran a 54.8. Chad Klinger on 4 tires ran a 54.2. So big difference in time, but McWhorter made up so much time with the 2 tires. Who knows if that'll make a difference as we have a pit stop. It looks like Ryan Carwell is coming down. And Reggie Ortega, so this really might open the floodgates.
Looking at the overall speed there, and it looked like it's about 4 seconds for Chad Klinger back to McWhorter. That continues to grow through certain portions of this racetrack. But 4 tires, I mean, this could It's come down to either one of these cars. I don't like that these guys are staying out so long because last time by, we're talking about almost a full second slower, and that's time that McWhorter's making up on them. They're not going to have enough time to make that time back up. If they pit now, they're going to be very limited on laps.
Really just depends on what they do with fuel. Maybe they take a splash instead, but that's tough to ask to have those tires go to the end. So we'll see whatever happens here. Still waiting for everyone to come down. Eric Hutton's now, he's going to come down to pit. So far, McWhorter, I think, is the only one to take 2 tires. Everyone else has taken 4 in fuel. We'll see what Hutton does here as you start to see that lead come down a little bit. Jeff Wright's lost a lot of time the last few laps by.
So back in 25th position, Alec Martinez in the 51. IK9.com, Toyota Supra is within a 10th going into turn 2.
We got another 2 tires. Eric Hutton took 2, but he waited much longer on fuel than Joseph McWhorter, so he's going to come out even behind the 09 of Chad Klinger, so not sure if that'll work for him. Whoop, here comes Jeff Wright, right from the lead. Here comes AJ Stravado. Here comes Noah Mahalski. This brings a lot of drivers. Weekly, Shoemaker, Stephen Davis, Max Cost. Bergeron will come down. That might have been about half the field right there.
Keep the camera here on the 48 machine. Looks like he's going for 4 tires. Alec Martinez still out on the racetrack now. Angelo Ronis, probably these two going to come down this time by.
Yeah, I think you have to respond. I don't think going long here is the way to go about it. That kind of shocked the 24 hadn't pit yet. But these top 3 are kind of on an island. They're definitely going to get jumped by the guys who just pit. And yep, Martinez is definitely pit, and here comes Hronis, but the 24 is going to stay out another lap. Oh, 29's hot on entry. Hopefully that wasn't too hot. At this time, it's still Joseph McWhorter who would cycle out to the lead. The previous time by the 09 was still half a second faster.
That time that McWhorter saved here, we're looking at about, let's see here, Klinger 2 seconds back from him, and then an additional 3 seconds. So he's 5 seconds roughly ahead of Jeff Wright, who took 4 tires. I really like what he did.
And we're looking at Martinez Hronis exiting the pits now. Here goes the 48 by, the 88 by, the 71 by. Watch the rejoin. It's a tight rejoin here at Pocono. Reggie Ortega almost got the jump. In fact, Martinez is loose. He's also going to get by the 51. So going that extra lap might really end up hurting those two. Now, for the guys who did not pit too early, Jeff Wright would be in the lead of all those guys. He's already by Eric Hutton, who took 2 tires. But he's still got Chad Klinger and Joseph McWhorter to chase down. Not to mention Bailey Turner, who's staying out. I think I've seen Bailey Turner win a fuel race here. I wouldn't rule that fully out.
I think we've seen the 24 car win quite a few races here.
Yeah, it's something about Pocono in that 24. Just you get everything going your way.
Where's the rain?
No, not this time. You can go to Moon Car for that. Doesn't sound like he's really saving, though, is the thing.
No,
could be
he's
wrong.
downshifting too. He's dropping the gears. He's definitely not in save mode.
Alex Bell is now in the 2nd position. I don't hear him shifting, so. But I also don't hear him clutching and coasting. If you're ever going to try to save fuel with clutching and coasting, this would be probably the easiest track to do it at, I would think. So, but still waiting on the top 4 to pit. Edwin Mendez is 4th, and he has not come down yet.
So here's the lead of about 5 seconds, down to 4.5. Last time by, McWhorter ran a 55.295. Jeff Wright a 54.2. So it's about a full second slower. Jeff Wright's on the way here. Actually, I was a little bit off on that, but it's a 55-2 to a 54-2. I was looking at their best times, but yeah, I still like it. I think it's going to pan out. We got less than 15 laps to go here. Man, Chad Klinger too on the strategy. I don't think he's going to stay in second, but he'll definitely pull off a top 5 if this race stays green.
You would think so, and especially with how hard they're getting ready to battle behind Eric Hutton, that could help him out as well. They're kind of stacked up behind him. Alec Martinez is trying to get to the front in a hurry on the freshest tires. He's gotten in front of Hronis. He's going to get by Carwile. He should get Hutton here easily out of turn number 3. That's how much more grip he has over both those guys. As Carwile kind of got stuck behind the 88, he'll end up having to get passed by the 51 as well. And Angel Hronis is not too far behind.
How the tables have turned, still waiting on the top 4 to come down pit road. McWhorter starting to chip away a little bit here at this lead. He's got it down to about 7 seconds, and Edwin Mendez in front of him. Actually, 24 full seconds from McWhorter to Turner.
Here comes Lakatos in from 3rd. Right, about 8/10 faster than Joseph McWhorter last time by. They're all going to catch each other at around the same time, it seems like, as now Hronis is by Carwile and Hutton. Oh, Hutton slammed the wall out of 3. I think he's going to keep it straight, but that was a big hit, and Reggie Ortega's about to pass both of them as well. I think 24 might have just hit the wall out of 2 a little bit. He might have, if he didn't, he tapped it. Kind of surprised they're stretching it this far. You would think, they're stretching it this far, you got to think one of two things. They're trying to make enough fuel, which we don't think they are because they're not seemingly clutching and coasting, or B, they're thinking a yellow's going to come out.
Yeah, I think they're just praying for a yellow flag at this point. I mean, if you're this far ahead, you'd hate to give it up because you know that on the other side of it, you're probably going to fall out of the top 10. Now that you've waited this long, the chances of you getting a good finish are pretty much over, so just run it out until it's out of fuel.
Surprised Bailey would do that. He was in 6th position. He is maybe not running the full season, just going for wins. Maybe this is how he thought this was his best chance to go for it would be. So could work, probably won't, but no doubt he's in control right now as this still runs green. He's one of 3 drivers yet to pit, as Chad Klinger has a mirror full of Jeff Wright. Taking a big run in this little short shoot into turn number 3. He's just going to dive to the inside. I'm not sure if Chad Klinger can even really defend this at all, and matter of fact, he won't. So Jeff Wright's now up to what would cycle out to be 2nd, and he does not have too far. He might have a 2.5 seconds to get to Joseph McWhorter, and that might not be a battle either.
Ten laps to go, just didn't run it out far enough for McWhorter, and we're talking about less than a second now. Jeff Wright catching up to him quickly last time by, almost a full second faster. He'll be probably at the back bumper next time by. But McWhorter, Klinger, probably going to end up with a top 5 finish on both these drivers, and that's what you need to do. I mean, you're sitting here, you're thinking about the strategy right now. Jeff Wright does not want the 73 car to lead laps. I mean, absolutely does not want that to happen. So maybe, just maybe, that's something to do with why Bailey Turner has stayed out this long.
Oh, we'll see. He's almost starting to think that the 24 is trying to stretch it. I mean, I personally don't think he would try to catch a yellow like this from the top 6, but we'll just have to wait and see. We got just under 10 more laps to see what might happen, but until then, considering we think those 3 are definitely going to pit, they might catch Mendez anyways, but even without those 3 in the equation, it's really going to be a battle between, I think, the 48, 51, and 29. But Martinez and Hronis got a lot of work to do to catch that 48. He did a great job in pit stops to get a gap that he did over those guys.
Put on a little bit of a fight. I know that if you're McWhorter right now, you just got to do what you can. Part of the wall back there, that was the 0-9 of Chad Klinger. Here's the pass now into 3. McWhorter going to pinch him down here on the apex, but Jeff Wright's just going to have so much more grip here as they exit. There they are side by side, not for very much longer when they get to turn 1.
Here we go, a little chasing though. He's going to try to side draft the 48 back into turn number 1, but it's not going to be enough. The 48's going to be able to send this down and probably slide him into turn number 1 with no issues. So right here, 48 makes it work. Got to be careful getting around the 46 of Edwin Mendez. He's going to get a little bit in the way of Jeff Wright, but McWhorter's not going to have enough of a run. Meanwhile, through that, Martinez and Hronis are clear of Chad Klinger, so only the 73 and the 46.
What do you know? I think exactly what I was talking about just happened.
What was that? Those two pitting?
Yeah.
Well, Bailey Turner pits with about 8 to go. Alex Bell's going to continue this out.
Yeah, I think Jeff Wright was on the radio for that one. Don't let that 73 car have the lead.
It's going to work out. Edwin Mendez. Oh, that's a late entry to pit, but he does get it slowed down. So now, and then there was one. How much longer can Alex Bell wait this out? How much harder can Alec Martinez run to get to the 48? Last time by, he was about 3.5 tenths faster, but that was really, I think, the 48 having to make a pass. And now Martinez is going to catch McWhorter in probably the worst place on the track, the tunnel turn. He's going to try to time it right, get to the inside. He did well, but you could still see he lost a lot of time having to do that. Alex Bell is in with 7 to go, so now that's everyone out of the equation. Jeff Wright is going to cycle out to the lead, and Alec Martinez at the same time is going to get the 2nd position.
6 laps to go as they cross the line. Actually, 7 to go. Got that Bell had already crossed there for that time. It's plenty of time for Martinez. I mean, he is about a tenth faster, even after passing McWhorter. He was able to still shave a little bit of this off. Let's watch on the left-hand side of your screen. That's the important part right now. That interval, is Jeff Wright saving anything? Does he have anything for him? Because we're talking about only about a lap and a half difference in tires.
Yeah, it's not much of a difference. Martinez is just going to have to make it work somehow. I think he is faster than the 48, but he was not really able to get up to him on that last run, so I could easily be wrong, and it's going to be very tough. The best thing Martinez has going for him is that Angel Hronis is at least giving him a slight boost down the straightaway with maybe a tiny push if he was closer. Not much of a difference this time, although once again, he's about 2.5 tenths faster that last lap than the 48, but it's going to take more than that to bring down that 8 tenths of a second gap.
Now you got a little draft help here for Jeff Wright as he's pulling up. I believe that's the 64 machine of Andrew Larner. He'll go to the inside now. Larner way up the racetrack here, and Martinez is going to meet him at kind of a bad spot. He's going to get to the inside.
I think that worked out. I don't think it affected the 51's exit, so that's good at least. Martinez trying to carry a lot more speed. It looked like he had a great turn number 3 there. I think he took another chunk out of it. That's another 2.5 tenths. This is 5 laps to go now. At that rate, he will get there.
Yeah.
Carwell is getting badly, that's a new word. He's getting racy with Eric Hutton. That's for 6th.
That looks a little loose there through 1.
That's what we're going to see for the race win with the exact same thing. It's going to be tough. You know, Alec Martinez might catch him, but how is he going to pass him? The bottom has not been the place to pass someone all race long. But I can't imagine Jeff Wright's going to give him the top side, or else he's got a death sentence. So Martinez, he might have to get physical a little bit, maybe like Logano did with Martin 12 years ago, something like that, because passing on the bottom is going to prove tough. And if they get side by side in a bad spot, that brings Angelo Horonis right back in this battle. This is a 3-car race right now. 4 to go.
Based off time, you've got Horonis who's downshifting. He's maintaining with the 51 and the 48. Last time by, he was matching times. Martinez a little bit off that last one. So now it's first and third that are the fastest up here in the top 5. I don't know. I mean, did Martinez use it up trying to catch up to Wright, and now Wright's turned it on?
I don't know. He gained a lot through the tunnel turn there. It's probably under half a second at this point, so I think it's just about Alec getting into the dirty air. Once he gets in that dirty air, it's going to be even more tough, but he's strong right now. They pulled away a little bit from the 29 that time by. 51, he's certainly in slipstream range at this point. Might not be out of the woods for lap traffic. Philip Brewer's not too far ahead, 3 to go. And Martinez took another about 10th.5 out of that lead. They're 3 wide in the background for 7th.
It looks like the 11, he's scored a lap down.
And he's just mixing it up with the lead lap guys as Martinez has got a run on Jeff Wright. He's going to have a shot here. That is a hack and a half 5th on back, though. Martinez, tell you what, Alec Martinez, he's maximizing his exits, and that's so important at this track. We talked about it, getting the best exits possible. He had another run that time out of turn 3.
Jeff Wright knows it. 2 laps left, and man, he's trying to break that wake there down the front stretch. Martinez has another exit to turn 3. He's going to be on the doorstep of Jeff Wright's machine for the last lap.
I wonder how physical he would get with Jeff Wright if he gets there. He's still got a little ways to go before he can even think about the bumper. Can't get too ahead of himself here, as he's got to really keep doing the same thing. It just gets harder and harder when you get closer and closer to the wake of the 48. But another good run out of the tunnel turn. He's going to really have to be important to get a run out of 3. He got a good run that time. He might have a shot in the turn 1 right here. Look at this. White flag, big block. He tried to get to the outside of him. Got kind of blocked there by Jeff Wright. Now we're bumper to bumper for the race win.
And Jeff Wright hold him off. The 51 really strong on these exits. Into the tunnel turn might be another one that he'll take it, but Horonis into the wall. They pulled out. Now Horonis starting to chase him back down. Into turn 2 now. Martinez and Wright for the final lap. Less than a mile to go.
I think Alec messed up, entered at 2 there. He lost a lot of ground. Jeff Wright hit the wall, though. It might have to be a bump and run for the 51 at this point. He has a little tiny run. Here he comes, throttling up out of 3. He has a run. He's into the wall.
Into the wall.
There.
And Jeff Wright is going to win here at Pocono. He held on to it with a hard-charging Alec Martinez and Angelo Horonis. It came down after 200 miles to just 0.2 of a second.
What a finish. What a big track. Big track, it still provides a good finish. It was a heck of a finish for 6th and 5th behind them. Hutton got that, but what a job. Jeff Wright played perfect defense there as those 3 end up finishing 1, 2, 3. That was a heck of a battle.
So Jeff Wright picking up right where he left off after a couple races missed here. The 48 car wasn't feeling the greatest there at one point. Now everybody from Sad Boys letting them know, Hutton Motorsports and all of them included, Ritz Racing, these guys all played the strategy and worked together and made sure that that 48 car had the best shot. And here he comes down the front stretch to burn it down. Your race winner, Jeff Wright.
Oh.
And it's going to pass tech inspection.
That was more than a past tech inspection crash. You knocked the whole rear bumper clip off of it. I don't think he cares, though. Let's get the front end. There it is. Now it really passes tech. Third win of the season for him.
Post-race interviews with your top three. Final race results coming back. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League. Back after this.
2 to go. Is anybody to try to maybe make a third one?
This race still very undecided.
The bottom lane just doesn't have enough cars now. The rules have been reversed.
They're running out of time and they know it.
How about Noah Mikowski in the 03? He did his head in front of this battle. The bottom surges to the inside. Now pulls even with Hutton off the turn number 2.
900 horsepower at their feet.
Banks doesn't have a push. Hutton, can he do it off of turn 4? Right, giving him another push. Big stacker to the outside. At the line, checkered flag. Big surges to the bottom.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Back live from Pocono Raceway. The Saturday Night Racing League has concluded its 80 laps and 200 miles at the Tricky Triangle. It was Jeff Wright who edged out Alec Martinez and a hard-charging Angelo Hurones to get the win. The top three within half a second of each other as they came to the stripe. Showing those final results up on your screen, Joseph McWhorter gets 4th place. He did not lead a lap here today, I do not believe. Chad Klinger. Both these cars on strategy, they get the top 5 as predicted. Eric Hutton's going to bring it home in 6th with AJ Stravato in 7th. This gaggle of cars from 6th back to 10th. These guys all on top of each other. It was Reggie Ortega bringing it home in 8th, Ryan Carwile 9th, and Bailey Turner somehow, I guess with a splash of fuel, he gets 10th.
I think he did end up taking tires, so it does end up working out somewhat for him, but definitely could have been better, playing strategy better, but he tried to go for the win. Just didn't end up working out. 11th place, Noah Mahalski. He continues to have a decent season, but no top 10 today. Case Lakatos led the first 6 or 7 laps of this race. He finished as 12th. Caleb Weekly started second, ran top 5 at the beginning, fell back to 13th near the end of this one. Bryce Shoemaker kind of mired in the mid-pack, 14th. Alex Bell, pole sitter, got the EOL though for the incident restart violation last week. He could not really recover from that. He went late, did not get to where the 24 did. He finished as 15th. Stephen Davis, I believe, league debut, finished as a clean 16th place. Bobby Patrica 17th, kind of ran 17th all race. Keith Shoemaker 18th. Jerry Bergeron 19th. Max Cost, most starts in Saturday Night Race League history, and he gets a top 20 out of this one tonight.
It's an interesting statistic, and how true it is. Max Cost hasn't missed a single race yet. Al Peacock's going to finish in the 21st position. Edwin Mendez in 22nd. Philip Brewer in his debut race back to 23rd after starting in 15th. Mark McFadden 24th. Lucas Lyons, he had, I think maybe a penalty here or something went on with the 11 car that put him a lap down. Daniel Cunningham 26th. Austin Belkey in 27th. The 64 machine of Andrew Larner, he was kind of off pace all day today, 7 laps down to finish this one out, 28th. Joshua Banks had the problem there with Chuck Sweeting, and the luck continues for the 75, as he'll be the only of 2 cars to not finish this race. Heavy damage. I mean, if it could happen to anyone, it's going to happen to that 75 car.
Yeah, it's just nothing. Wrong place, wrong time seems like every single week. There's nothing we can do. Even when we don't talk about him, something bad happens. So needs something, maybe a scheme change, maybe a manufacturer change, something that changed the luck on that 75.
We had 1 caution with 10 lead changes, and we're going down to pit road. We talked to him during the race, and we're going to talk to him post-race. It's Angelo Huronis in third here tonight. Now, Angelo, we talked to you during the only caution we had here tonight, reset the field. Did that kind of help mitigate what happened at the beginning of this race where he had fallen out of the top 10?
Definitely, first run, I learned pretty much what not to do, and that was when, I definitely cooked up my right sides that first run, and then afterwards, when we got that caution, I knew what exactly needed to be done, and the position I was in, it definitely worked out in my favor, but it just felt good to be up there in on pace. I mean, I don't think I was going to catch Jeff or Alec if there were a few more laps. I was kind of hoping they would run side by side, but I can't really complain with a P3 because that was still good racing. So yeah, I can't complain about that.
There was multiple times where you were a little bit quicker than Jeff, but Alec was quicker than both of you, and then it would switch back and forth. And once you got past McWhorter and Klinger, it was like the top 3 just pulled away. You guys were in your own time zone. Angelo, you felt like you were on pace. I think you were a lot faster than you actually felt, because in order for you to get up there and even have, half a second right there in front of you, that car was on point tonight.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's not that I don't get many good finishes, but sometimes, I mean, you see how that goes. Sometimes you capitalize on someone else's misfortunes, but it felt good to, like I said, get this position on merit. So hopefully we can continue this momentum.
Well, Angelo, we appreciate your time. Is there anybody out there that you'd like to shout out for the 3rd place finish?
Yep, all my teammates at Hunter Motorsports. Also, shout out to Alec and Jeff for great racing at the end, and congrats to Jeff on the win. Sponsors who put this league together, and you guys for a great broadcast.
Angelo Huronis, 3rd place finish here tonight at Pocono. He'll be joining a list of drivers in this chase as well. He's looking really good in points. We appreciate it, Angelo.
All right, thank you.
Now we have Connor Horn. We're moving down pit road a little ways. He has V-Speed's very own Alec Martinez, who will be your 2nd place finisher tonight.
I do have Alec Martinez. He tried to go 2 for 2 after the win at Dover. Alec, you came up 1 spot short, maybe 1 lap short at that. You had to run coming to the white flag on Jeff Wright, tried to go high, kind of got blocked, and it seemed like you just didn't have anything left for him after that. You wish you did that last lap move on the front straightaway. Wish anything different happened there, tried something different?
Yeah, man, that was fun. I really had a good time. Congrats to Jeff, number 1, first off, and Appreciate him having me in here and being able to race again. And like you said, I almost 2 for 2, but man, down that front stretch, I had a really good run. And uh, the goal was to get to his outside if I could fake him high, low and then go high and get to his outside. Kind of what I did to, I think it was Joseph on that restart. If I could have got to his outside, I could have pinched him down and kind of just held him down there. And maybe hopefully have won the race. But I felt like if I went to the inside into turn one, he would have did just that. And Angela was kind of too close to really risk that move, because if I get tight on the bottom, Angela gets a run on me, and that's it there. And personally, I don't want to risk dooring him. I'm not racing for points here. I'm just racing to win. And yeah, we were close, but I don't want to wreck a championship contender or even mess any championship contender's day for winning. Personally, I had a really good time racing him, and Jeff always races me clean. So I know it would have been fun if I got to him or to his inside, but at least made it exciting for the finish and for you guys. I know Pocono was tough when it comes to finishes, but it was really fun there at the end. Kind of got caught up in dirty air, but is what it is, part of the game. And it was good time, and glad to bring it home with the top 3 and in one piece.
He definitely gave us a show. He even knocked the wall down Ross Chastain style out of 3. It almost made it work.
I
but
thought
just
about
never enough
that.
of a run. It almost worked because you bounced off. Jeff kind of shut that off. But still a great run for you. 25th to 2nd tonight. So top 2 in both races with 1 win for your starts this season. Maybe we see you again, maybe not. But anyone you want to thank and shout out for this performance?
Yeah. Shout out to obviously you guys. Kind of, I'm used to coming up here, and I know Connor. I know it's good to hear you back here, and always happy to fill in whenever I need to. And love coming on Tuesdays and Tuesday nights and broadcasting here with V Speed, and just love this company, what Adam Baker and Bradley and everybody on the company's done. Again, thank you to Jeff for racing me clean number 1, and for letting me come out here and race. I know I didn't pay or anything, but I appreciate him letting me come in here and race. And felt like I did as good as I could. And again, appreciate everybody racing me clean and the race going green. Everyone, hats off to these drivers for keeping it clean. And again, you guys doing the broadcast, and just everybody who was in voice chat with, they made it fun and a good time. So hopefully I'll come back here soon, do another race. I'm not sure which one I would do, but nonetheless, fun time if I end it here, end it with a 1.25 average finish. So that's not too bad.
Would be pretty darn good. And I think it's 1.5. But
Oh,
either
1.5,
way,
yeah, 1.5. Sorry.
math is not in the race driver's vocabulary, I suppose. But either way, Alec Martinez won first place at Dover, 2nd place tonight. Thanks for talking to us, Alec. Good luck, and we'll see you another time. Have a good night.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say try qualifying to Alec, but I couldn't find the right time. I mean, the guy's done phenomenal. I don't think there's really anybody that we've seen, maybe Adam Cabot or Bailey Turner, that really Stravato. There's not very many guys in here that could do that and come from the back of the field. And Jeff Wright's one of those others that has those abilities. And if you start up front, makes it a lot easier, especially at a place like this. But congrats to Alec Martinez. But finally, that brings us down to victory lane, where we have Jeff Wright, winner here tonight at Pocono, picking up right where you left off. Jeff, I know that the points here today, I got to ask, first off, we saw Bailey Turner stay out there on the racetrack for a lot longer than we would have predicted anybody to try to do that. Was that a strategy to keep Joseph McWhorter from leading a lap?
No, I don't think so. I think what Bailey was trying to do there, he's probably just trying to bank on a caution. That way, if we did get a late race restart, he'd be in position to, obviously be the first one into pit road tires. Everybody's going to pit again at that point. So I think he had fallen back enough in traffic, and, it was just incredibly difficult to pass tonight. I think Bailey, with him not running full time for points, was probably just going for the long shot and hoping for a yellow and maybe, get to restart in the front row in a final restart, and he'd have a pretty good chance at winning. But lucky, enough for us that didn't happen. It went green, and our strategy was able to work out.
Now let's go to what everybody was talking about in these last 3-4 laps. Alec Martinez just a little bit faster. He chipped and chipped and chipped. Then you get to the last lap. He's got to run down the front stretch. Clean block. And then you guys take it into turn 1. What was your confidence level once you pulled off that move to carry it around for one more lap?
Yeah, I was really nervous. Obviously, he wasn't just a little bit faster. He was a lot faster, and he was having to deal with the dirty air as well, and he was still able to close in and, have a run there at it. So, I hate to be that guy to, throw a block. That's something I never really want to do, but I mean, you got to do it here at Pocono, especially racing. Alec and I, we respect each other a lot. And, obviously I think tonight it was whoever was really going to get that clean air was going to win this race. Alec took it easy on us. I don't think he even qualified tonight, started back in P25 and still, finds his way up here. So, I think, if he, chose to qualify, I think it'd be a little bit different story. I think you'd be talking to Alec here tonight because he's just so good at Pocono. Really appreciate him racing me clean there at the end. In those closing laps when, blocks are being thrown, it's easy to get frustrated and, just move the guy. And he definitely could have done that to me. But he played nice. And what a battle to the end there, especially, on the last lap. You don't typically see that here at Pocono a lot. So the fact that we got a pretty cool finish, that's awesome.
When he did say exactly that, you guys respect each other. He didn't want to mess with any of the championship contentions. He's just here to race and have fun. And you're up there trying to get yourself back into the top spot on points. So here tonight, you're able to chip away a little bit there at Noah Mikowski and Joseph McWhorter. We only have one race left here. I'm going to take a look at the schedule. Might bring that up on your screen real quick while we're talking about it. But
before Chase, 4 races left.
4, okay. I was trying to size that up, but there it is on your screen. We're looking at Kansas after the off week. You're pretty good at Kansas. You're pretty good at Iowa. We got the Milwaukee Mile in there. It's kind of a wild card. What's in store for us here for the 48 team?
Yeah, the goal is just to try to, knock off some more wins here before the chase starts. Each win being 3 bonus points, that's going to be huge going into the chase. And obviously, if possible, we'd like to try to get that points lead back because, that's 10 additional points to start the chase if you can win the regular season championship. So I think we chipped a little bit at that points lead today. I don't think it's going to be enough to overtake or anything like that, but getting a win, adding 3 bonus points to our column, that's really big. Like I said, there's a handful of tracks I'm excited to go to. Kansas last year, Adam Cabot and I had a really great battle there at the end. That's always a lot of fun. Milwaukee Mile, I don't know if any of us have been to that track in years, so I know I haven't at least. So that's going to be very interesting. Iowa, typical short track should be a lot of fun, and then Atlanta, I think you got to look out for guys like Brian Chambliss, guys like Ray Massey to maybe get another win there. So. It's been a great season so far, and then obviously, looking at the schedule here, we got a lot of fun tracks coming up.
Well, Jeff, congratulations on the victory. We're actually taking a look at it right here. It falls right into place with the block down the front stretch, trying to take it to the outside, but it really wasn't that much of a block, honestly. You just kept him from getting to the outside, and well done here tonight. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, first off, thank you, V-Speed. Congrats on your guys' 1K subscribers. You guys been growing rapidly. You guys do an excellent job, and man, it seems like you guys are calling an event every single night. So just big shout out to everybody involved with V-Speed. You, Bradley Cooper, Connor, Alec, Adam, everybody else at V-Speed that I didn't mention. Really thankful to have you guys as a partner because you guys just do fantastic work. So that's the biggest shout out tonight for that. And then obviously our league sponsors help make these events happen. Harpoon Design, Tractor USA, Walk and Roll and Costumes, and Clark Print Shop to help us put these races on.
Jeff, we appreciate you, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to help grow together. And you guys put on a heck of a show, and the quality of what we do, it's really nothing without you drivers out there. We'd just be talking to ourselves. And, as much as me and Connor like to do that, it probably wouldn't make much sense without you guys. So thank you very much, man.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Jeff Wright, winner here tonight at the Tricky Triangle in race number 10, Saturday Night Racing League. So, Connor, it was a great one. 200 miles, and it comes down to less than 1/10 of a second there at the line. Your final thoughts on how this race went?
That's kind of how Pocono goes. It gets very spread out, very hard to pass, but at the end of the day, every now and then, you're going to see a pretty wild race. We thought fuel strategy was going to be in the cards. CSL drivers not able to make it at that point. Then we saw some 2-tire stops. That didn't work out as well. At the end of the day, it did come down to what I think were the two of the fastest cars in the race. Bailey Turner didn't really get the chance to get up there after the bad pit stop under yellow, but when Alec Martinez shows up, he's going to compete for the win, and Jeff Wright was ready for it tonight. Alec gave him everything he could, especially with the wall tap out of turn number 3 just wasn't enough, and so Pocono's about high-speed action, maybe spread out action, but always comes down to a pretty decent finish at the end of the day.
Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast of the Saturday Night Racing League here on V-Speed. If you did, We say it every week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can never miss a single race. We'll be bringing you the rest of the season, flag to flag, all year long. Also, catch us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Sunoco Cup Series will be racing at Bristol Motor Speedway, again, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But for everybody here at V-Speed, Adam Baker, who does everything in the background, Connor Horn, who is my co-commentator of the night, our other producers, Eddie Smith and Morgan Cook, Christian Hill, we thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Cabot,
Where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The